You hear it? Did you hear the drone? Right there, stay right there. Stay right there. You're gonna hurt your back.
Aw. So what was the 80s like?
What was the 80s like? The 80s was awesome. It was great, a great time to live. There was no COVID-19. The drinking age was 18 in the state of Kansas where I grew up. My whole college years, you could actually drink when you were in college is 18. You could go out at night, run around the neighborhoods, not worry about anything, and no one was carrying a single one of these because there were none of these. Needed to make a call, you used a payphone, or you didn't make any calls. We went out on the streets at night, did whatever we wanted to do. Kids are running around everywhere, all different age groups. Everyone pretty much got along, and if you didn't, the boys fought it out, and then the next day they were best friends. It didn't matter.
So if you wanted to meet up with your friends at night or whatever somewhere, what would you do? Would you call them all and say, hey, let's meet here, and then just hope that they would all make it there?
Yeah, it was either you knew where to go because you talked about it at school or somewhere, but everyone always knew where to go. We had places to go. There were empty lots, huge, large, undeveloped lots that we would actually go, and we would take a keg and we would all pitch in and buy a keg of beer. We'd ice it up and we would just party right there on an empty lot till whenever. And we did it all the time. We found these isolated lots where the police and the neighbors didn't bother you, no one cared, and we would have just huge parties. It was a great time to live, it really was. It was an excellent time to live. In fact, it was way better than now, I think. I think cell phones, honestly, they're a great advantage in many, many ways, but they can socially bring people together, but the downside is they socially isolate people because it's used as a weapon amongst the teens and grade schoolers. They can bully people with a phone and social media way more than back when I was a kid. You bullied someone, you either fought or you walked away, and that was it. And I mean, it was instant. It was like, like right then. Did you bully
people?
I never bullied anyone, but there were some people that tried to bully me, and all I did was I fought, and it was over. No, I was never a bully.
At 8 o'clock every night, everybody around here, well, not everybody, but whoever wants to do it, comes out on their back porches, front porches, whatever, and howls at the moon to show solidarity in this pandemic, that everybody's in it together.
Pretty dumb, actually. People do it. It's a strange thing.
I remember Maddie says we were playing Uno, and she says, I hear the coyotes. And I'm like, those aren't coyotes. Yeah, they are. Of course, the next day I read that article that said that that's what these people are doing.
I need a delicious beverage. Do you have a delicious
I do. I've got myself a delicious beverage here of Buffalo Trace whiskey and a little 7, and it's a dandy drink.
Come here, dog. Come on. So explain to me what's happening right now.
They're howling at the moon.
Can you hear it down the hill?
I can hear it. I don't know if the microphone can hear it. I see. I've had this dog since I was in 4th grade, I think. Colorado is made for a certain type of person. I am not that type of person. I'm more of a California type of person. I feel like most people are either Colorado type of people, Florida type of people, or California type of people, or New York City type of people. That's it. There's no other types of people.
Where do Kansas people fit?
Kansas people fit in Florida, probably. A lot of people who become old go to Florida. Like, most people when they retire and go to Florida, they go to the most boring parts, like Destin, to retire. They don't go to Disney World, you know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure old people don't like to go to Disney World that often.
There's a lot of old people who are there, usually.
They're with their grandkids.
Colorado type people are people who are free spirits, who like to do, the marijuana or other drugs as well.
It's a very athletic community.
It's full of hippies. I don't know. If I could choose between going on a hiking trail or going to Disneyland for the day, it seems like a very obvious choice to me. I mean, there's just different types of people. I'm not the type of person for outdoorsy type stuff at all. But I'm also not New York City type city folk.
So do you see yourself living in California the rest of your life?
Yes, but I am very scared of the big one, the earthquake.
It's gonna happen.
I know, that's what scares me, is that it will happen within the next 20 years or so. It's gonna destroy LA completely, like literally.
Well, when that happens, I have some advice for you.
What's your advice? I just don't want to die. That's all. As long as I live, I'll be fine. I just don't want to die.
Well, first of all, obviously you would get outside because that's the safest place to be.
The problem is, in a small earthquake, if you can get outside, then that's probably best to do. But my house, if I'm at my house, there's power lines. They're right over my building, and those are gonna fall in an earthquake that strong. I don't know if you've seen videos of these types of earthquakes, but there's been several of them in Japan. The ground just moves in a circle. It's like if a treadmill, at treadmill speeds, you cannot walk. You will fall over if you attempt to walk. You cannot just walk outside. That's why they tell you to not walk outside. I always thought that was really dumb that they would say that, but then when someone explained to me, well, it's because you really can't walk, you're more likely to injure yourself trying to get out of a building than if you were to just stay
What if you
put.
got outside and just laid flat on the ground?
Well, if you'd have to get outside first. You
Right.
won't know that an earthquake is happening until it's happening.
Right.
So you can't really get outside during an earthquake that big.
Well, the other piece of advice I have is should you survive the earthquake, grab your camera and start filming everything.
Yeah.
Like everything that you can possibly film, because when the big one hits, the stuff that is documented on film is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Most people in earthquakes that big die in fires. It's not the actual earthquake because it
Right.
ruptures gas lines and all that
yeah.
stuff. If I just survive, if my house doesn't collapse on me, and if I can get out of it, then I should be fine.
Yeah, but the thing is, if the big one, when the big one hits, because it will hit,
Yeah.
the after tremors are going to be almost as severe.
Oh yeah. No, I'll be sleeping in my car. If at that point, that's just what I'm really terrified of happening. And if I happen to be in a skyscraper in downtown LA, they're built to withstand it. But I just watched a documentary about a city in Japan that was built to withstand earthquakes that strong, and all the buildings, pretty much all of them, were just totally destroyed because it didn't work. Poop. So we're in the car driving through Colorado about a year ago, and your mom just yells, "There's a moose! There's a moose!" And, seeing moose in Colorado is fairly rare. You got to be in the right spot. And so Maddie and I are like, where? And she's like, it's right there, it's right there. And so we're like, we're looking everywhere. Like, we're looking out the window, where? And we're driving, and then your mom goes, oh, that's just a pole. And that is a true story. Honest to God. It was a telephone pole.
Oh my gosh.
I want to.
You see, oh boy, I can see it really good here. From the top?
Yeah.
Do you see how can you see how the letters on it?
Mm-hmm.
This is Congress Bitters. It's an 1800 bottle, Hellman's, and this came off of a steamship. Back in the 1800s, the steamships would run up and down the rivers, certain communities. This one actually says St. Louis on it. You can see right there, St. Louis Mo. So this came out of St. Louis. It is still full. Liquid is still inside. And it's 1800 bottle definitely from a steamship that wrecked and was recovered. And a friend of mine gave it to me. And we don't know exactly which ship it came off of, but we do know it's an old, very, very old and rare bottle. And it's intact with the ingredients inside. You can see inside the liquid is there and it's full. You can see it moving, but it's literally full.
We're playing Uno.
How do you play this?
Okay, you look at your cards. The dealer, the person to the left of the dealer is the first person.
Are
to
you
put
the
a card
dealer?
in. I'm the dealer. So your sister would have to have either a blue, a number 2, or a wild. If she doesn't have a card, she has to draw till she gets one. Object of the game is to have no cards left. To be the first one with no cards.
Well, when do you say Uno?
When you get down to your Uno card.
Well, why do you say Uno? Shouldn't you say Uno when you win the game? Why does the game have no,
No, because
cards?
you have Uno.
Well,
You have one.
But why call it Uno if your goal isn't to get down to one card? Why not call it Cero for 0?
Because if you don't call Uno on your last card, you have to draw 2 if somebody catches you. So check your cards.
Can I show them to you?
No.
No. Well, it doesn't matter if you see or not, does it?
Sure.
Yes, it does,
Why-
because then I'll know what you have.
Can destroy
You don't need to know what anybody else has.
Why does
it's
it matter?
all separate.
Because it's all about, you can't do anything to me.
Yeah, I can.
Yes, I can. I can give you 2. I can switch it. Your dad can make you draw 2.
Why? Wait, why can he make me draw 2?
Just play.
Okay, May put down a 2.
So, if you have a blue, you can do that. You can change the color, which means you have to have a 7 of a different color. Or if you don't have any and
Do
you
you
got
want
a
me to show
wild,
you your usable cards?
No, I know what I can do.
All right.
Does that work? Is that good?
that'll work.
I might tell you also the way we play.
I am going to change the color.
Do you just get to choose, or do you put
That's
another
a
card
wild
down?
card.
I get to choose. I want green.
5.
Stop. See, whenever you do that. There you
I just
go.
blew your mind.
There you go.
How about I blow your mind?
What does that mean?
That's when he
I
skips.
just
So he
skipped Maddie,
That
and it goes to your mom.
means
Mom.
probably
Mom.
Mom, back to you.